Okay, I will call this Safety and Tech Committee meeting to order. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll say welcome to the committee and guests. Kathy, would you call the roll?
Hampshire,
Here.
Carter, Barston.
Here.
Okay, so tonight we have a pretty nice list of things that have been going on. We will start with the City Hall locks, the warranty on the system, and I will pass this over to Mr. Hicken to take it from here.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. If the committee members remember, we had a discussion about redoing the doors and the locks in City Hall. An estimate was given to us, and this is a permanent time locking system. The estimate came in about $14,500, and this committee, I don't think there was any problems with that. However, they did ask if it included any type of a warranty. That meeting took place in November, I believe, and by the time we got the warranty, the December meeting was over, and we never had another Safety and Tech Committee meeting. So I'm coming back to you with the documentation from Accurate Locksmith on all the different warranties that are associated with the system. I believe that you'll see on the very back page highlighted, the Secure Care does carry a 5-year warranty. I do not believe, although the committee could make a motion to tell the administrator, me, to move forward with the project. I don't think it necessarily is a council vote at that cost if I just moved forward with it. And so I thought I would pass that out and see if there are any further questions.
So, Tim, the warranty covers what they install.
Yes,
And I see the note from Jamie that the doors are already been purchased by the city, so that, obviously, that's, whatever warranty is whatever we have when we purchase those doors, probably is expired.
absolutely correct.
Okay, but this is gonna be, we're gonna be able to secure City Hall, with the installation of this system.
That is, to refresh everybody's memory, right now, City Hall is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. At least the common areas are. I'm looking at putting in a system that would allow for easy access, but still allow it to be locked after hours. I mean, we'll be able to lock it when we leave, and COTC will still be able to have their access for evening classes, but there would be a system that kept it locked in the wee hours of the morning, for lack of a better term.
Or if somebody needed to come in and work, now Kathy, she's like me, she's an early morning type, so if she wants to come in early one morning and work, she could be in here working and lock the door and not have to worry about somebody wandering in.
Yeah, she could. I envision it as a time lock system that opens it generally, but everybody in the building would have access.
Okay, not that Kathy can't handle herself in a street fight.
I wouldn't
but-
tumble with Kathy.
I'm not-
I don't know. I've had a couple disagreements with her in my time on council and as administrator, and I don't want to have to do that
It's
again.
not worth it. Okay, thanks, appreciate it, thanks, Tim.
So on this, I see it says 5 years from date of shipment.
That's correct. The shipment day, I think that's probably the warranty from the company. Once it's shipped, it would be installed roughly immediately.
Okay.
So I think that's just them letting you know that other strange items that might happen may not. Their warranty, they really want to cover once it's installed and up and going, so.
And this was all in the budget already?
It's totally budgeted for. I have pulled the purchase order for it. Actually, Jamie pulled it for me last year. So the purchase order is pretty much ready to go. It encumbers across the year and is part of the budget.
Okay, and you're saying that we don't need to,
Oh, I think the committee could entertain a motion or a motion and a second to move forward with, instruct me to move forward with it. If you guys feel comfortable with that.
Yep. I'll go ahead and move to direct the city administrator to get the security system in place as we've discussed here at the meeting and as is outlined not only in the budget but in the materials that he's provided.
and I'll second that. Okay,
You'll need a roll call on that?
Madam Chairman, point of order, you need to call a roll to get that passed.
okay, Kathy, would you call the roll?
Hampshire,
Yes?
Barston.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so on to our next, and I guess we don't necessarily have to do these in order if you don't want to, but the new website development.
Yes.
You had asked us to see if we had any specific changes or faults that we saw to the current site.
And this is probably me just getting back to the task at hand, for lack of a better term. I have the money, once again, we have it budgeted, we have it ready to go. It'll actually be a bidding process. What I wanted to let the Safety and Tech Committee know was, while it is very high on my list of things to get done, we are incredibly busy right now with development and other projects. And I'm kind of letting this group know that I expect it to be done this year and bid this year, but it's not something that I'm working on actively. Once we get a couple of development items off my plate, I'll be working with Jess, who I think is going to be my co-point on it. Jess Cumbo is the city administrative assistant, for those of you that don't know. And I've asked her if she can possibly help me head it up. She's excited about it, but I didn't want this committee to think, what the heck happened to that, and me having not given you an update as to where we are. I would still ask in your leisure time, or if you get half a chance, to jump onto the website, see if you see stuff that's bad, see if you see stuff that's good, that you want saved. Ultimately, I'll make the same request to council when we get a little closer to the bid.
Perfect, sounds good.
Yeah, I would think that the website developers, when they start to bid, and whoever gets the bid would have a lot more to talk to us about. But it does, I know Jude and I, we've talked about this, we've all talked about this, it suffers from a lack of modernity and functionality. It's kind of clunky.
And that's the exact word that was on the tip of my tongue.
It just needs to be freshened.
Yeah, depending on what you're looking for, sometimes you find it like that, and other times.
Right.
I will tell this group that I see a value, if it's possible, in a local company. One of the problems with our website is it seems like it's Christmas and there's still something up that says,
Easter egg.
the Halloween.
Right.
And so having somebody local, I think, would help with that. The flip side to that is I'm not yet sure how many local people are expertise enough or what we want. There are some awfully big companies that do awfully good work,
Mhm.
but they're based in Toledo or something like that. So
Yeah.
when the bid time comes, we'll probably give a couple of points to people local. If we can do it, that's great. It tends to make in-person meetings, and I like that better than, although we're all becoming quite accustomed to Zoom meetings now. So, I think that may, either way, we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, and it depends how local you're talking. I mean, Toledo could be considered local.
Well, that's a good
depending
point.
on- Okay. On then to the recording system, we've got it in use. Had some notes on updates on the performance and how it's doing for us right now.
Excellent. So as you look around, you see a large snake of wires. Keytel did come in. And they initiated if you look at the back of the room, next to the clock, there are 2 cameras. One is currently pointed forward, and you can see that's this feed that you see up there. That would be essentially like a YouTube feed. That's the feed that'll go out from YouTube. The other one is hooked into our system for people that are zooming in. Tonight will be a good, we tried Tommy zooming, Mr. Lee, Councilman Lee, zooming in last time, and there was a connectivity problem. Keytel has worked on that. Ultimately, their final tail end will be hiding some wires. Of course, when COVID is over, this room will return to its non-distance configuration, and the committee chair, the directors will be actually sitting up here. So the wires that you see snaking out there won't be there anymore, and the other box that's back there will be brought up here, and all these wires will be hidden within the day. So it'll return to its regular self. The speaker system will work when Mr. Lee calls in tonight on Zoom. So we should hear him out of that speaker. He will hear us through all of the microphones. And the crystal clear clarity that what people are reporting on YouTube seems to be very good. So we're moving towards a very polished, and of course that started in this committee. My thanks for that, for the work that Keytel did, and I think in the end we're moving towards the very tail end of that project.
Have we had any mishaps on things that we wish were not heard, or any non-recording of sections or entires? No, we have not, and part of that's the due diligence of Kathy and Chris Sharrock. Part of it, as we get a little bit more familiar with it, I think that we will continue to make sure that that doesn't happen. Those of us that are in government or have been in government know that executive sessions are supposed to be just that. They're supposed to be secret for a reason, and we've really gone out of our way to try to make the system not have that be possible. Tonight will be the first time we have somebody zooming in on the system and the system shut down for executive session. And of course, those maybe a little bit for the people in the audience, most of everything that we do should and properly be done in sunlight. And it's even called a sunshine law. We should, council should not be making super secret decisions. But there are some things that if you say them out in a public meeting, might give somebody an economic advantage. You might be talking about disciplining somebody. You might have to talk to your attorney, which is attorney-client privileged. And those are times when we don't want a stream going out to the public, or the public to be listening to those conversations. So.
And just in clarity, we're authorized by Ohio law to go into executive session for some of these purposes that Mr. Hicken just outlined. We can't just do it just because we want to.
I wish we could sometimes, but no. The ORC, the Ohio Revised Code, tells us exactly when it's proper, and then our law director makes a determination as to whether or not we're doing something within the bounds of the law. So
And will stop us if we're not.
he'll try.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't really think that there's anything else on that subject, unless you guys have any
I have a
specific
quick-
questions.
Is someone going to monitor the Facebook feed or the YouTube feed to make sure that we're not broadcasting the executive session?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure.
Kathy and I had a bit of a conversation about this today. During a council meeting, both making sure that the YouTube feed is up and running properly, and then making sure that the YouTube feed has been shut down properly when necessary. I think we will continue to have Scott Fulton and myself and Chris Sharrock do that.
Okay.
Kathy's so busy during it, while I think she can start those recordings and shut them down, checking to make sure that they're working okay during a meeting, I think we agree. She's got lots of stuff on her plate. So that'll be the administration's task. Starting the recording or the camera can be anybody, including Kathy.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks.
Okay, we've covered everything there. Onward to bids for City Hall, the redoing of the floors, fixing some cracks. I did make a note that the money was already in the budget, that it is bids that are needed.
It is in the budget. I think this is included here much more from a general information point of view. Properly, the Buildings and Grounds Committee will make a determination, much like you you guys did on the door locks, because that's a little bit more safety and tech-based. Fixing crack in the buildings does have a safety component to it. We've had some plaster fall down. Thankfully, nobody was under it. And so fixing those cracks in the building and then the floors are obviously just an upgrade. I just wanted this group to know that we are moving forward with it in this calendar year. The Buildings and Grounds Committee, though, would be the committee that I would probably take that to.
Excellent. Can anybody think of any additional items that we need to cover? I've actually been meeting quite a bit as what I've looked at in other years, so.
Right. Well, we've got with, I think, with the pandemic has impelled us to look at technology issues, maybe not necessarily safety issues, but technology issues, and wanting to upgrade. We've been wanting to upgrade our sound system in here and other things for some time, and we just never spent the money for it. But I think now, I think council members zooming in and doing these meetings with vendors. We did the Zoom for the auditing with the guy from it's auditing us, the outside audit. You know, that was a Zoom, a
Nice.
telephone call that we did. So this is much better. This is much better to be able to do it this way.
I agree.
And any thoughts on scheduling a next meeting?
Kind of leave that up to Mr. Heck. I mean, I think he's gonna let us know, Tim, if you just let Jude, I mean, just let Jude know when you're ready to bring something back to us. Cause you'll know when you get bids and you'll know when we need, we need to meet again. Obviously, if Jude needs us to meet, she'll let us know, but
Yep.
for what's on the agenda, that's gonna be,
The only one on there that I can really think of is that website development,
Yeah.
an update on that. And then, of course, Madam Chair, anything that you identify, if it pops up and or maybe, who knows, discussion during council. If something pops up, make a note
Right.
and we'll meet as necessary. So I don't know that we necessarily have to set a next date.
I'm good with that. We've covered a lot last year and already this year, so it's been a good group.
Good.
Well, if we don't have anything else to cover, I thank our guests for coming. It was a treasure to have you guys here, always a treat. And I will accept a motion to adjourn.
so moved.
And I'll second that.
Hampshire,
Yes.
Marsta,
Yes.
Adjourned.
Adjourned. Very good.